here with my special guest. Uh, at this side we have Alex. He's gonna talk about mad cow disease and some facts about it. And on my other side we have Manuel, who will talk about ingested plastic BPA. Would you like to begin?
Yeah, of course.
First of all, uh, Alex, what kind of disease is it? Is it a virus or a parasite?
Well, the bovine spongiform encephalopathy, it isn't neither a virus or a. In our research at Oxford, we discovered that it was based on a misfolded protein that caused this disease. So, it, in other words, I think it creates a tumor inside the cows that develop this disease.
Uh, what's the behavior that people took?
Well, first, when the cows start to have this disease, they have troubles walking, they have a abnormal behavior, and a weight loss. When the humans started to eat these cows, they start to have these symptoms in less years than the cows. The cattle have a incubation time of 4 to 5 years. And when they start to have these diseases, the humans has a variety of a Jacob disease called the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
I'm curious about how can it be transmitted.
Well, when it's as simple as when they eat the meat of the cow or every part of the cow. At that time, at the 90s, they weren't so careful with the products that they chose for a supermarket. So it was very common to develop this disease from a normal meat in the market.
Well, what's fascinating for me, according to my research, is that supposedly people cannot be infected by it when they drink the milk. But on the other hand, if they eat some parts of the cow, such as the brain, they can. Moving on, I have an interesting hypothetical situation for you. If a group of expeditioners run out of food and water as well, but they encounter one of these cows, which parts of their body would you recommend them to eat?
Well, in that situation, it is very hard to know which part should they eat because at some point the cow could get infected all its body. But in either way, the parts that they shouldn't eat are in the liver and the kidneys. If either way they want to start eating the cow, they would have to disinfect it, disinfect the meat really carefully.
Could you tell us more about the symptoms of eating meat from an infected cow?
Well, as I said before, the symptoms derive into the Jacob disease. The Jacob disease is a neurodegenerative disease that leads into a abnormal behavior, into a pain that you don't, well, it's a pain that you experience, but it isn't expressed in your body. It is really weird, but that's how the people with that disease feel. and in a period of 13 months or so, these people start to have critical health damage. So they are probably in a week are going to die.
Is there any possible way to detect this disease and to cure it?
Well, it doesn't have a cure.
Does
It can be treated with a good time, but the disease, uh, you will have to be in the well with the Jacob disease. You couldn't walk as well as before. You would have to be really careful with what you eat and with the people that you hang out with, either for not to have other diseases and to not contagion as well.
In the last years, I've heard only about few cases on this disease. But how do you feel about it? Is it dangerous nowadays, or is it not as dangerous as it was?
It is, of course, not as dangerous. In 2018, there was only 4 cases globally, and because in the 90s, the the cows that were killed were about 4.4 million, and that's how basically nowadays it is eradicated.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Now, our specialist. Um, would you like to begin?
Yes, of course.
Um, about this ingested plastic BPA. I used to think that it was a disease, but I believe that it is some kind of synthetic plastic.
Yeah, that's right. It's not. It's a synthetic chemical. That means it's artificially produced by humans, and it's called BPA, or the natural name bisphenol A. This means that it is a polycarbonate plastic used for robust and impact resistance materials.
I know, as a matter of fact, that this plastic is usually used for containers that we usually use in our daily lives. Um, what could be the effects of using this kind of containers?
Well, the effects are, as I previously stated, it's a synthetic chemical, therefore it has different effects on the human body, such as the health effects. The impact on fetuses are the ones that are proved, because the young children are the ones who haven't developed their immunological system. That means the younger you are, the higher the levels of BPA in your body. So the effects on the health are liver and kidney function, and also it affects the mammary and gland development. It hasn't been proved yet, but it is said that it also causes the male infertility, decreasing sperm quality, and also breast cancer.
Um, I'm a bit interested about this fertility thing. Um, could it affect more men, or could it affect more women?
Well, it would affect them equally, because we are both in constant contact with this chemical. We absorb it through skin or by drinking water with bowls that are made of this chemical or that contain this chemical. The problem is that it affects both differently. The men get the infertility by decreasing the sperm quality, while the women are affected in their mammary glands, and in such cases there could be a development of breast cancer.
Does that mean that anyone, no matter their age or sex, can be affected by this by just drinking water in our plastic containers?
Both sexes can be affected equally, but the younger you are, you can be more affected because your immunological system hasn't been developed properly.
Is it recommended that pregnant women do not consume BPA made plastic?
Yes, because if they consume this, they will affect the fetus, and that could lead to malfunctions or abnormalities in the development of the fetus.
It was shown that humans who swallowed BPA eliminated through their system within 24 hours. How true is that?
Well, it's true that it's eliminated in 24 hours. The problem is that it is present in diverse products such as the plastic bottles, DVD cases, medical devices, and also the ink on the bill receipt that you get in the supermarket. So you absorb it through their skin contact. The problem is that when you absorb it, then you get affected, and a study that has been made by the University of Exeter says that 95% of the people will always have traces of BPA because we are always in constant contact with this.
I heard that most people in countries such as the US have measurable levels of BPA. Should people be worried, concerned about this?
In the past, yes, but nowadays, thanks to the Food and Drug Administration, BPA has been banned. So technically, it's illegal to use it to develop products such as the baby bottles that are used in order to feed them. So, in my opinion, I would say we don't have to be as worried as before.
As before. Thank you. As a conclusion, I have a final question for both of you. Should it be a common thought to be concerned about these health scares, about these two in particular?
Well, the mad cow disease, I think, was a very big problem at its time. But as we advanced in technology and in knowledge, it was pretty easy to get rid of the disease. So I think that it is a need to have this kind of disease to prepare the people to know what could happen.
Okay, so in my own opinion, the BPA case was a healthcare in order to get money because they wanted to make studies of this product, but they used this healthcare in order to get a big quantity of money to make these studies. The BPA, of course, has diverse effects which are very harmful. Nevertheless, I don't think it's proper to do a sudden healthcare. We should firstly get informed properly about the topic and then inform the people about what's happening.
So that's everything for today. Thank you for coming to my
Thank you.
special guest, and that's it.
Thanks.